Hey everyone, it's Deja from CrochetEverAfter.com. Today this is a viewer request video. I had somebody that needed to know how to decrease front post single crochet and back post single crochet. So if you look closely here, you'll see that I have two separate lines of front post single crochet, and then I went in, did decrease, and then turned it into one post or one single front post single crochet. And then over here, the back post double crochet, which looks very more muddled. It's not a post. You don't get the post effect like you do here. Kind of looks more like a side V. So if you look at this way, it kind of looks like V's. We did two rows or two columns again, and then decreased it and then turned it into one here. So I'm going to show you how to take your work and decrease these two stitches when you're working in the round. So this is just some worsted weight yarn and a 5mm hook that I'm using. So if you have instructions that ask you, or any pattern that says decrease, or it'll actually say maybe FPSC 2 together or BPSC, so back post single crochet 2 together. So if you have anything like that, this is how you are going to do it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put two front post single crochets together into one. So this is a decrease for front post single crochet. So I'm just starting the round here where I have one single crochet before I begin the actual decreasing. So now I'm going to start doing the front post decrease. So to do that, I go through the top two loops of my next stitch, because that's all that I have to work around for a single crochet post stitch. Then I'm going to come out the next stitch. So I go in the first, come out the second. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull up a loop. Now I need to go back in that second stitch. So I went in and out. Now I need to go back in that second stitch and out the third stitch. I'm going to yarn over and then I'm going to pull up that loop. So even though I went through 3 different stitches, this is only putting these 2 stitches together. You'll see that when we finish this stitch, we're going to go back into this third stitch again to make our next single crochet. So even though I went in 1, 2, and 3 stitches, we're only putting these 2 together. So just like a regular single crochet 2 together, I yarn over and I pull through all 3 loops on my hook. So now you can see that I turn these 2 individual posts into one post here. We'll go back around and then we'll work into that as well, so you can see how to work into that. Then once you finish that, you go back into that stitch that you came out of, because we don't want to lose a stitch. If I don't do a single crochet in this stitch, I'm going to reduce my stitch count by 1. So these are just 2 regular single crochets. Okay, so now we're ready to work our back post single crochets. So you can see they look different from the front post. They have a different look to them. They look kind of like sideways V's almost. You can kind of see the little V's there. So to do that, we're going, instead of going from front to back, like our front post, we're going to go back to front. So just remember, whatever the name of the stitch is, front post or back post, the way it's said is the way you're coming in with your crochet hook first. So back post single crochet, come from back to front. So I come back to front in the first stitch, and then I go in to the second stitch. I'm going to yarn over, grab my loop and pull it through, and then I need to go back into that second stitch from back to front. So go back to front and then go in the third stitch. Just like our other stitch, the third stitch we're going to use again. So we're only decreasing 2 stitches, this stitch and this stitch. So I have 3, now yarn over and pull through all 3. So now I've turned those 2 into 1. Then I go back into that third stitch that I used and do a single crochet and a single crochet. So again, I have some front post stitches here. So I go front, come back out, grab my loop and pull it up. Then I go back in that same place where my tail is coming out of, go front, pop out the next one, yarn over, pull up, then yarn over, pull through all three, and go back in to that third stitch, single crochet, single crochet. Here's some more back post single crochet, so I go back to front, and I go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, then I go back to front, pull it back through, you get stuck, just gotta wiggle it. This likes to do kind of a slip stitch on you when you do the back post single crochets, so just be careful, don't lose a loop, just pull it back out and start over. 3, and I turn that into 1. So let me go around and then we'll work into these reduced or decreased post stitches. Okay, I'm back around. We have that single reduced, why do I keep calling it reduced? A single decreased front post single crochet, so we're going to work into that. So it's just the same exact thing as we were doing. We go front to back and then back out. So even though it looks a little bit different, we do the stitch the same way. So we pull through, pull that up, and then single crochet through. So it goes a little bit fatter and then it goes back into a skinny type stitch. So I'm going to do 2, and then we have our back post. So remember, we go back from the back to the front, then back through, pull up a loop, and single crochet. Then we go back into that same one that we came out of to get to our next set or next single front post single crochet. Here's the next one. So we go front to back, pull that up, single crochet. And we go back into that same one we came out of, single crochet, single crochet, oops. And then we have our back post, our last one. So you go back to front, and then pop through, pull up your loop, single crochet. So that's basically what you're going to do if you have instructions that tell you to decrease a front post single crochet or a back post single crochet. Just finishing off my round here. So depending on what the instructions state or what you're going to be doing, so you can see it kind of decreased my tube a little. It's uneven because I didn't decrease over here where I have just some single crochets. So you can see we have the front post that turns into 1, and then we have the back post that turns into 1. The back post is a little bit more difficult to see because it's a different kind of stitch pattern, but the front post you can see pretty closely, or pretty clearly, how it goes from 2, and then even the decrease still looks like 2, and then it pops to 1. So if you have any other questions, leave them below, but thank you for watching.